You're live! Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be testing Crysis 3 Remastered on the GTX 1050 Ti, 570 and 1650 Super. After all those are done, we're doing the Xbox Series S and the One S just to see how the consoles compare to the PC. How are you guys doing? Welcome. I'm doing fine, Jim76UH, what about you? Also, thanks to Crytek for providing a code of the games. I tested Crysis 2 yesterday, so it's now time for Crysis 3 Remastered. I also have the OG Crysis 3 from 2013. I still cannot believe that Crysis 3 is from that era. Still looks so good. But anyway, time to go into the game. Hi, Shashin Roshani, Ice. Yeah, I'm live, man. I'm fine, thanks. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Glad that you're fine. So, we're taking a look at Crysis 3 Remastered, which from the 3 remastered games, I would say is the one with the least improvements. Which makes sense, I mean, the original already looks amazing. So yeah, hey, Anant Bardwaj, Nixon, the Raving Kilvertman. Yeah, maybe the Raving Kilvertman, but we'll be here to check those claims in the end. So we're going to start with the very high setting, but the textures will be on medium. Oh, there's no medium texture. Okay, so high textures. The rest on very high. And oh, interesting. They mixed the TAA with SMAA on this one, so you don't have a separate TAA option. That's interesting. All right. Everything on very high. Ray tracing off. So yeah. Bro, when release GTA Trilogy? I don't know. What up? Dark Master. Long time no see. I always remembered you because of your profile picture. I think that's... Is that Elizabeth from Bioshock Infinite, or is it the guy from Judgment? I'm confused with the small image. Handsome gamer? Well, same to you, man. You also are, without a doubt. Okay, here we go again. I restarted the game because usually when you change those textures, the game says, oh, you need to restart. What game engine do you think GTA 6 will use? I don't know, probably something new. An improved Red Dead 2 engine, probably. Okay, campaign, replay mission. We're doing Welcome to the Jungle, which is the one with a lot of grass on screen. I played until that level, because the first level really, I think, is not good for testing. I mean, it looks good with all the rain and all that good stuff. But I mean, overall, the levels that are more interesting are the ones with a lot of foliage. So we're coming for that one. The classic grass-filled level. Hi, CHLD 512. I think it will use the same engine as Rage 2 but improved. What do you mean? Oh, Rage 2. Rage 2, you mean the Rockstar Advanced Graphical Engine. I thought you were talking about Rage 2 from Bethesda. So, okay, the improvements... I can notice that the lighting is a little bit different. I played this level a few hours ago on the OG Crysis 3. What I'm noticing is very low performance in comparison to the original, at least right now. What are the sizes of the remasters, by the way? That is very interesting actually, because Crysis 3 Remastered is like below 20 gigs, but Crysis 2 is like 40 gigs. Not sure why Crysis 3 is so lightweight. Okay, here I'm getting below 30 frames right away. So let's do high settings. Very high is a little too much for this GPU. So already this is way more demanding than the original, which is interesting. Okay, we swap to high. Also remember, this level is the one with a lot of dynamic grass. And... oh, I already did this, okay. Creo que las texturas de Crysis 2 son de mayor resolución. Y mira, en Crysis 2 cambió muchísimo, en Crysis 3 los mejoraron un toquecito, pero no tanto. Some people are saying that in Crysis 2 textures look better, and that really is up for debate, because they redone a lot of textures for Crysis 2. On Crysis 3 they left a lot of things the same as before. Okay. Yeah, I'm not noticing. Well, the grass looks a little bit different.
Big sweaty armpit. Not that you'd notice inside that suit, but it's hot.
So yeah,
in here.
I'm not sure what's new. Yeah, even the depth of field is the same. The grass does look different though. Yeah. I'm not sure what changed really. Maybe it's a little bit darker now, but I do know that Svogi on this one is not implemented. There's no Svogi because all the global illumination stuff was done manually by the artists. So the Svogi, the thing that they put in Crysis 2 for global illumination, is missing because here it's been done manually. So, I mean, it already looks pretty good. There is indirect lighting, but it was made by the artists manually.
Lots changed.
But yeah, the grass looks different.
People sign up with Cell for cheap energy. Cell were generating power for free, and nobody
Interesting.
can compete with free.
Let's take a screenshot.
Before long, they had
So
a
I'm going to
monopoly.
put the gun right
Bills
here.
went up. People had
Let's put
nothing
it
left except their debts.
covering that M,
Cell marched them out and into
like
the
that.
volunteer camps.
and let's put it on the highest settings. Now, you know what? Let's compare high settings versus high settings. Let's be real here. We gotta test the original against the new one. I'm not sure why those textures were on very high. So high settings versus high settings, I'll think it will be more fair to the game. So as you can see here on the remaster, everything on high. And
But slavery.
1080p. So let's aim right there in the middle. We take a screenshot. And let's go to the OG Crysis 3. So we get out of the game. This is a fun reset that is using better lighting tech, and that the foliage now runs at 60 frames instead of 30. Also, water runs at 60 instead of 30. Makes sense. So those are the improvements. Kinda makes sense. Crysis 3 already looked incredible in 2013. Still holds up. But gotta see the side by side. Yeah, that's coming. Give me one sec. Gotta launch Crysis 3. The OG Crysis 3. So again, we're doing high settings versus high settings. Because on this GPU, you're not playing on ultra settings on a 1050 Ti. Let's be honest. So, trying OG Crysis 3. Circa 2013. I still cannot believe that Crysis 3 is from 2013. Okay, very high. No, we want high settings for this one. I'm guessing it's... yeah, new lighting, better foliage, but that's about it, right? I mean, what else can they change? SMAA, 2TX, and I gotta restart the game now. Yeah. So we get out of the game, yes. Sí, sigue teniendo Svaenki. Qué nombre raro tenés. Ray Tracing en esos remasteres solo se aplican reflejos. Solo se aplican en superficies metálicas. Si tenés agua, por ejemplo, eso no tiene Ray Tracing, aunque lo actives. Eso tiene otras cosas, tipo reflejos más tradicionales. So, some people are asking about Ray Tracing. That's a good point. Certain materials do have Ray Tracing in the new one. But the water still uses the planar reflections. So on the water there is no ray tracing, but on other metallic surfaces you will have ray tracing, if you enable it, of course. But they also improved those reflections on the water. Now that there are planar reflections, there is screen space mixed with planar reflections. So water, the reflections on water should look better in the new one. So yeah. Can 1050 Ti get 60 frames on OG Crysis 3 on very high? I don't think so, but as you can see on high it's already double the frame rate. So yeah, the original Crysis 3 is less demanding. Yeah, the lighting is less dark in here, in this part at least, I'm noticing. This part, yeah, without a doubt, the lighting inside the elevator is different.
She made me swear not to tell a living soul.
Tried Crysis Remaster with 1650 Super, ran fine, but the thermals were hella high, over 75C. Okay, try underbolting. Underbolting usually helps in those cases. Anyway. Yeah, I already unlocked that. I played this game multiple times. I'm also noticing that the anti-aliasing, I see a lot of shimmering everywhere. Yeah, definitely the anti-aliasing, the modern TAA and the remaster is a lot better. I mean, look at that. There's a lot of shimmering. Interesting changes. So better anti-aliasing. Now it's mixed with TAA. Good. Okay. Yeah, it looks less saturated, if that makes any sense. But the frame rate is a lot better.
Not that you'd notice inside that suit, but it's hotter than a Vindaloo in here.
Yeah, Crysis 3 Remaster darker. Crysis 2 Remaster brighter. Yeah. Okay. So we're standing here. Let's see the OG Crysis and the new one. So we go into streams. Okay. So here's a screenshot from the remaster that we just tried. Let's see it against OG Crysis 3. Both on high settings. This is not the highest, so keep that in mind. Okay. Definitely the grass looks a lot better. A lot better in a way that it doesn't have edges. So the anti-aliasing is doing a better job of not getting shimmering on the blades of grass. And it's darker overall, yeah. But the performance is half the performance. Half the frame rate on high settings. Although, yeah, still looks really good on the OG Crysis 3. Huh. So yeah, very minor changes, I would say. Yeah, there's also, yeah, there's clouds moving, so it can be darker in the original as well. So yeah, pretty interesting. Definitely the remaster looks better because of the better grass and the anti-aliasing. The TAA in the new one, yeah, does a better job in that regard. Okay. Let's try something else super quick. I want to show you water reflections in the original.
Lots changed. This is how it all
That's a funny thing. Psycho said lots changed. Cannot be a coincidence.
Hold up. Well, that's one way to do it.
Okay, let's see that water. Gotta run around.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just an energy surge.
Also, the performance is pretty inconsistent. The CPU performance on this one, yeah, I see a lot more stutters.
Okay,
here we go.
This is how it's gonna work. I'll call out the locations as I see them, like this one in Sector 1 Delta 0. These are potential cache locations. Our primary target is Tower 3 Delta 3. As soon as you get the hardware, we'll knock the bastard
OG Crysis 3 still looks very good, yeah. Yeah, still Crysis 3. I mean, Crysis 3 is the one that has the least changes. I mean, if you see the foliage here, there's a lot of shimmering and the grass is like a lot brighter. Looks less natural. So in the remaster, you're probably going to see darker grass.
That's it. Recon what we have and let's move on.
Here, the water. This is what I was looking for. Because the water surface now in the remaster has planar reflections that are not present in the original. So that's what I care about. Whoa! I went through the ground! What the hell? Okay, that's one way to do it. Okay, Santiago bugged the game live. I gotta die somehow. Hang on. That was not in the plan. That's what not part of the plan. What are the odds? Yeah, I never ran into that in the OG Crysis 3, and I played more than 20 hours of this game. That's hilarious.
Okay,
Let's try that again.
I'll call out the locations as I see them. Like this one in Sector 1 Delta 0.
We go full armor. Let's go.
Primary target is Tower 3 Delta 3. As soon as you get the hardware, we'll lock the bastard outcome.
Okay, under
Sector
the
1
water
Delta
so we
3
don't die.
looks good. There,
Perfect.
Sector 1 Delta 0.
I'm trying to get to the part where the water
Sector
is
1
pretty
Delta 2.
obvious.
Got something.
Okay, let's not go through the ground this time,
That
please.
would be fucking obvious. That's it. Recon what we have and let's move on to the next sector.
Yeah, don't tell me the odds. Literally. But definitely I'm pretty impressed that in 2013 we had this working in machines back then.
Prioritize Sector 1 Delta 6. Strong contender.
Okay, we get the weapon, we destroyed the tower. Excellent.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Come on.
How you firing that? Jesus.
Another one. And it's down. Perfect.
You did it. But that is fucking beautiful.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Quintero. I
Okay,
appreciate
you
that.
got Cell's attention. Suggest we move out immediately.
Okay, we're almost at the part that I wanted to check out. So there's grenades. Grenades. Mines. How do I activate nanovision?
Give me an update on your position. Let's link up.
Roger that.
Falling through the ground. Nice start for speedrun, yeah. This is a speedrun. Any percent graphics comparison speedrun. El Halo de Master Chief Collection piensa como 100 gigas, así que si tenés espacio en el disco, metele, pero son como 100 y algo de gigas. Somebody was asking about Halo Master Chief Collection, how much space it occupies on the PC. 100 and something gigabytes. So better be ready. Okay, we got to the checkpoint. So what I wanted to show you here, guys, is the water.
Enemy ICOM chatter indicates they're still in the area. How copy? Good copy. We're just coming up on the area now, over.
So let's see that. So as you can see here in the water, there are reflections, screen space.
This was something bigger. Advance and indicate. Roger that.
But as you can see, they disappear.
Those electric arrowheads you got can light up a large area.
So yeah, let's take a screenshot for this. So we aim where to? Let's wait for them. Let's aim to that box. Or no, let's aim right down here. Specifically this part. So let's take a screenshot right here. Okay, perfect. And let's go back to the remaster. I just wanted to compare, and let's also take a screenshot here. And now we're going to play the remaster from now on, so we're comparing remaster to OG Crysis 3. Alright. So now we're playing only the remaster. OG Crysis 3, that's enough. 30 FPS grass. Yeah, I can notice that. That's definitely noticeable. Now that you mention it, the grass was pretty low frame rate. Because the game was running over 50 frames, but those frame times were also pretty inconsistent in OG Crysis 3. Hopefully they improved the CPU performance as well. There's still modern FPS games that look worse than current in the current year. Yeah, I agree. That's insane. Although this game is more linear, so kind of makes sense that they put better graphics. Everything tries to be open world nowadays. That makes it more difficult to put good graphics if you do an open location. Alright. Here we go. You know what's made for consoles in mind when grass is 30 frames per second? No, even on the PC version it was 30 frames.
That's Claire, New York's regional commander. She's not.
Okay, is this high settings? Yes it is. High settings and high textures.
Soldier. We've lost most of our top brass, but she's doing one hell of a job.
High
You have
settings.
respectful command now.
So you guys know what I'm doing.
Well, you know, this one's.
Do you think it's worth buying Crysis 1 Remaster for £11 on sale? Yeah, I think so.
Oh shit.
Yeah, minus 25 frames.
Living soul.
Depending on the game, LODs in open world games can look so ugly. Yeah, true.
Well, I guess technically I ain't really breaking my word, right?
So yeah, definitely 30 frames less. Well, 25 frames less. Let's see once we get outside. That's kind of the part that matters. Did he do 750 Ti yet? Not yet. We're doing that one tomorrow probably. Or on Monday.
Well, I hope it's worth
I have a lot of videos about Crysis 2 and 3 Remastered on the works. Even on the consoles, so it will be interesting to give it a shot. Whoa, some things do not load on time. Does it came out with DLSS and FSR? DLSS only. FSR we can force it with an external application. Okay, so here we got like 40 to 60 frames in OG Crysis 3. So there's already a huge difference on performance. Performance is way worse in the remaster, which makes sense. They changed some of the planar reflections and how the grass works. And now the grass is 60 frames instead of 30. So yeah, in that case it makes sense. Whoa, and some things are popping out for some reason. There are some bugs with some assets in the distance. So as I was saying, this level is a lot of grass everywhere, and now all that is, instead of running at 30 frames, is running at 60. So I think that's one of the other reasons, apart from the lighting, that destroys the frame rate. That and the planar reflections in the water surfaces. But there's a lot of pop in some parts. I'm not sure what's up with that.
This is how it's gonna work. I'll call out the locations as I see them, like this one in Sector 1
Okay,
Delta
I
0.
take cover.
These are potential cache locations. Our primary target is Tower 3 Delta 3.
Let's try that
As soon as
again.
you get the hardware, we'll knock the bastard out cold.
Okay, yeah, the grass
Sector 1
is
Delta
greener,
3 looks good.
and less
Sector 1 Delta 0.
less dark. No, darker. Never mind.
Sector 1 Delta 2. Got something.
There. So the thing is now, what I wanted to check out, again, water reflections, since now they have planar reflections. What I'm pretty surprised about is that the ray tracing doesn't affect the big water surfaces. Only some select metallic surfaces and glass and all that. But in the water bodies, the big water bodies are not affected. Yeah, the grass looks more like grass. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, definitely the one that benefit the least from the upgrades is Crysis 3. But Crysis 3 already looked incredible. So, I don't know. Crysis 2 was an older game. Definitely the remaster for Crysis 2 is way more noticeable. On Crysis 3, not so much. Unless you have a super high-end PC. Well, in that case, go get it. But on PC, on the budget GPU side of things, hasn't changed much to justify the upgrade over the original. Oh.
Give me an update on your position.
There we
Let's link
go.
up.
Do you think 3050 Ti desktop will come out or not? Probably not. Budget GPUs will come once the GPU market, well, the semiconductor market stabilizes. Yeah, I like the look of the grass on this one. On the original it also looked good, but in a different way. Here the grass looks a little bit more natural, and the edges do not break. There's not that much shimmer on the grass, but that's about it. Still, personally, I would rather play the original with higher frame rates. Okay. Here we go. So we were standing right here. What the hell? Some stuff is disappearing. Okay, that's definitely a bug. Huh. What the hell? I'm confused. Yeah, no. This is definitely a bug. I need to restart the game. Look at this. What the hell? Please kill me so I can reload the level. Anyone? That's so weird. Okay, these still haven't killed me. The funny thing is, when I play this game more seriously, I die a lot in this area. And when I'm trying to die for real, the game doesn't kill me. Okay. Let's see. Let's try that again. No, still broken. Let me do something super quick to see if I can fix that. We're going to documents and deleting the shader cache. So Crysis inside the games, my bad. Because I've been playing a lot of Crysis games, maybe something broke there with the drivers. So Crysis 3 Remastered, shaders, bye bye. Models cache, bye bye. There we go. Let's see if that works. What do you think about Intel Arc? I know nothing about Intel Arc, so cannot comment on that. The OG Crysis 3 has a lot of compatibility issues for me with 3070. Well, in that case, it makes sense to upgrade. But for budget users like us, with 1050 Ti, 570, something like that, the original runs better. But at the same time, yeah, it can be more unstable. On the CPU side, this one appears to be better in that regard. Okay, same settings. Let's go back. Hello Santiago, I'm everyone, hi! Nice to see you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're playing Lost Planet 3 is not as bad as people say? Well, it's been a while since Lost Planet was a thing. I forgot it existed. Alright. Let's double check.
Watch your sectors, move and shoot. Gunslinger 2-1, action. Enemy ICOM chatter indicates they're still in the area.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the draw distance there. Something is definitely off.
What's going on here?
I'm confused. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with the LODs. Something is broken there. Let me try changing those textures. Maybe that fixes the issue. Okay, that fixed the issue. Interesting. What the hell? I'm confused. What happened there? Let's try that again.
Watch your sectors, move and shoot. Gunslinger 2-1, action. Enemy ICOM chatter indicates they're still in the area.
No, it's still broken. What the hell?
We're just coming up on the area now.
Maybe my drivers?
Charlie team, take the
I usually blame the game in the last part. Yeah, where I stand exactly in this position, the draw distance kinda breaks. Now it's fine, I think. Yeah, now it fixed itself.
Those electric arrowheads
Kinda.
light up a large area.
It's pretty
Try 'em
weird.
out in the lake there.
What the hell? Anyway. Yeah, when I stand exactly in the part that I wanted to stand, the game kinda breaks. That's so weird. Never saw that before. Let's see the draw distance, if you can fix it. Object on very high. Yeah, no, still happening. I'll try deleting the drivers later. In the meantime, let's do the comparisons. Yeah, that's a weird technical issue. I ran into that before, but when changing settings, not when restarting the game. Jesus. And so far it only happened in this area, for some reason. Alright. So, let me see those screenshots I took. I'm fine, Physics. What about you, man? Long time no see. You're one of the older subscribers, love every video. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Hope you're having a great day. And at the beginning too. Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. Actually, in the very beginning when the doors were opening, some stuff was popping out here and there. Okay, so looking at that bush in the middle. So looking at this. There we go. So we take a screenshot. We zoom in. And we take another. So another screenshot. Okay, let's compare now. So we grabbed the screenshot from before, like usual. So the first screenshot is this one? Yeah, that one. So this is OG Crysis 3, as you can probably notice. Todo bien, Kenneth, ¿y vos? ¿Cómo andas? So guys, whoa, wrong keyboard. So as you can see here, the reflections are a little bit different. Oh, by the way, Remaster on the left, older game on the back. As you can see, the grass is different, looks greener, but that's about it. And also the edges, the anti-aliasing is a lot better on the new one. The TAA provides a better image. The other one, the original, looks over-sharpened, and there's a lot of shimmering. Does the brand of graphics card matter? Oh, the graphics card, yeah. I mean, it depends. Just make sure that at least two fans, if possible. But as I was saying about the grass, I mean, the grass is greener, the edges are better. It looks less over-sharpened in the remaster. And let's see those reflections in the other shot that I made.
Security lockdown in effect.
So, image. We grab the other image, which is this one. Let's see. So now I aim down sights. Let me toggle the aim down sights so it's easier to compare. There we go. Okay. So this is the OG Crysis 3. And let's see now the remaster. So as you can probably notice there, not sure if it's very obvious or not, but the reflections are improved in the remaster. They added planar reflections. So when you aim down sights and the stuff on the screen for the screen space is gone, there is a better reflection, more accurate reflection. So it doesn't look all white when you look down. But I mean, also I'm in a different position. Hang on. The thing is here, for some reasons, sometimes, yeah, this happens. Not sure why. When I do this, this happens. I have to report that bug, probably. Whoa. Jesus. Come on. There we go. So, in the original, the reflections break when I look down. How do you do in the fade in OBS? What do you mean fade? This? I just crop the image in real time. So as you can see here, when aiming down sights, and the detail is I'm just looking down, the reflections no longer break like in the original. Now there's planar reflections. The thing is, that's way more GPU demanding. But the frame rate difference is there. 60 frames versus 34, so we lose 25 frames. But the reflections are better, more accurate. there's planar reflections now. So it doesn't break the reflections anymore. So yeah. Although, I don't know, the original for me still looks good. I don't know about you guys. But at least to me, the original still holds up pretty well. So let's try and get 60 frames, if that's even possible. So first, let me untoggle the zoom toggling. There we go. Usually shading is the most demanding, so we're lowering that first. So let's put shading on low. We apply. We jump from 32 all the way up to 49. Nice. Shadows, let's put them on medium. So we get 5 extra frames. Let's see on low how it holds up. Okay, 55. Water, let's put it on medium. Okay, performance is the same there. Post-processing on medium, particles on medium. Object, we keep it the same. And game effects on medium. Okay, still not there. Objects on medium, maybe. Okay. Yeah, this seems similar to the original in that regard. Object on low. Nothing. Game effects. Yeah, no, the most important options, I would say, like on the other games, are the shading, shadows, and post-processing. Post-processing maybe on medium. Yeah, post-processing on medium. So yeah, on this one is 1080p, high settings, kind of high settings, high, but low shading and shadows. Now let's put post-processing on high because it seems to be the same. Okay. Well, and let's compare this to the OG Crysis 3. Now that we're here, we might as well, right? So OG Crysis 3. And let's see the remaster with lowered settings, by the way. Okay, they look almost the same. Although the original uses less VRAM. But, oh, the original uses more CPU. That's interesting. And the frame times in the original are terrible. Look at that frame time in the original. So yeah. I don't know, maybe play the remaster if you want. With lower settings it still looks pretty good. Although the shadow draw distance in the original appears to be a little bit better on the highest settings. But this is highest settings OG Crysis 3 versus low shading and shadows and high settings. So yeah, I don't know. This doesn't seem necessary, honestly. I like the better frame times and the better CPU usage and the 60 frames per second grass. Other than that, so yeah, let's start shooting, shall we? Better scope, yes please. Yeah, what bothers me is that some textures are popping in and out. Not sure what's up with that. I'm going to delete the drivers just to make sure that there's nothing interfering with that. But that's the only thing that bothers me about the Crysis 3 remaster. Some stuff, objects pop out like that. Not sure what's wrong. A poll for OG versus Remaster? Yeah, sure. That's a good idea. Thanks, no Atata. Which would you play? OG Crysis 3 with more FPS. More FPS but worse frame times. Yeah, the frame time is pretty bad on the OG Crysis 3. So there we go, poll ready for you guys. Also, keep in mind that this is one of the more demanding parts of the game. That's why it runs bad on all of them. But I still cannot believe this game is what, 7 years old? Even the original looks incredible. But you can see that the biggest changes are on Crysis 2 Remastered. Crysis 3 Remastered, well, seems more like, okay, let's check out the ray tracing. More than anything.
Primary asset has been destroyed.
Okay, headshot. Anybody else? There are many old school games that should get remastered treatment rather than Crysis. Dead Space, Alan Wake. Well, Dead Space is being done. Alan Wake, it's been done. Alan Wake though was a very basic overhaul, really. A very basic overhaul. Also, guys, see, when I look down, it's no longer like a white water. It now has the skybox reflected with planar reflections. So yeah, the grass is screen space, but there are planar reflections for the skybox, so it's no longer white when you look down.
Security lockdown.
But that to me is not a huge selling point. Isn't Dead Space a remake? Yeah, it's kind of a remake actually. You're right. Okay. But one thing that I was talking about at the beginning, the ray tracing, if you enable it, I'm going to enable it just to show you how many FPS we get, which is pretty low. You get seconds per frame. As you can see, when with ray tracing on, the water it doesn't have ray tracing. The water has planar reflections. The thing that has reflections with ray tracing are certain glass surfaces, metallic surfaces, and smaller puddles. But the water itself, since it's a big body of water, it doesn't have those ray traced ones, I think. Let me see super quick if I look down. Yeah, still using the planar reflection. So yeah, keep that in mind. The ray tracing is more for the smaller details. I mean, imagine the performance is ray tracing applied to the water, the big water bodies. That would be insane. Slideshow frame rate. It's like a PowerPoint presentation, like people say. So, guys, at least for me, if you want to play the remaster, do high settings, low shading, low shadows, and you should be good. Over 50 frames most of the time. Some drops into the 40s when there's a lot of water. But that's about it. And the frame time's pretty good on the remaster. That's the biggest change for me. The frame times are a lot better. Let's see, let's find a reflective surface. Yeah, as you can see here, more water. This water, again, not ray trace reflections on those bigger bodies of water. On this one, it might have ray tracing actually. Let me find something else. Yeah, better CPU usage. On the CPUs, it appears to be less demanding, which is always good. But I'm not sure why I have that pop-in issue. That's kind of odd. Maybe a bug with the remaster. I don't know. Okay, where to? Oh, that way. Yeah, that's the only thing that bothers me right now, the pop-in. Is this actually a good game? I only know this game because of memes. Yeah, it's a fun game. They are pretty different. The first one, the second one, the third one, pretty different games. The first one is more like a bigger sandbox. Whoa. The second one is more like a corridor shooter. but that has multiple paths that you can choose which one to go, which I like more, honestly. Nowadays that we have everything trying to be open world, well, that's one of those games that doesn't have an open world. And this one is more of the same but with bigger maps. So it's more Crysis 2 with bigger maps. And well, visually superior to Crysis 2 in every way, without a doubt. But the remaster doesn't do a lot. Because again, it already looked very good in the original, Crysis 3. I hope we get Ray Trace Psycho's head. Yeah, we need that. That needs to be the next update. Also, I feel like the guns in Crysis 2 have more punch to them. But I don't know why those assets are popping in and out. Something is definitely off there. Oh, that's Psycho. What the hell? How did he get over there? How did he arrive there on its own? I have to go all the way around.
What the fuck happened here? Check their black boxes. Find out.
Sí, no pasaba, no. Algo raro hay ahí. Voy a tener que chequear. Yeah, guys, some of the object pop in, that wasn't in the original, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe there was, but it was a bug. So definitely, this that I'm seeing here is a bug. I'm pretty sure. Oh, the aliens are coming. Okay, where to? Oh, I forgot about this. You know what, guys? I'm going to play the first level. Something is off right now. What I'm going to do with the levels... This one has more metallic surfaces, so we're going to check that out. I love the opening on this one, with all the rain. Yeah. I love the starting back in 2013 when I played this. Okay, here we go. So I love this part when you are in a... It's raining everywhere. It looks beautiful like this. This is perfect for reflections, without a doubt. So yeah, a lot of rain. Always makes game looks better when it's raining. Nighttime and raining means good graphics. Reminds me of the mods in GTA San Andreas. Ultra realistic graphics mod, and it's wet roads. Well, this is kinda that, but in a single level. This part killed my HD 7790. Yeah, same. When I had a GTX 450, this part ran terribly bad. The issue with the other part with a lot of grass was the CPU. Here the GPU is pretty... leaving everything. Okay, here we got a small puddle. Let's see if it reflects with ray tracing on. Wet roads and realistic are best buddies nowadays. Yeah, exactly. So ray tracing on high. Let's put it on high. Let's see if it reflects anything.
We're walking straight for the front door.
Okay, it reflects the roof.
Surprise is going to be our only chance.
The roof, the ceiling.
No one's crazy enough to give this a go.
Let's see if I can... Maybe if I shoot this, let's see if I can see the bullet holes in the reflection.
Let's do this quietly. They've got QRF teams on standby.
Okay, apparently not. Oh, here we go. Another puddle. Yeah, I'm seeing screen space stuff, but... Okay, it's mixing screen space. I can see Psycho reflected there, but if I look down, Psycho kinda disappears. Only his shadow is being reflected. That's pretty odd. So, as you can see, Psycho's shadow is reflected, but he's only reflected in screen space. That's kinda weird.
All stations
Probably not intended behavior. Let's see in glass if I can see myself. Okay, I can actually see myself in the glass, but it's very difficult because there's a lot of stuff in the background. Hang on. Let me first disable ray tracing. My eyes are killing me. Oh, much better. Excellent. I'm going directly to the objective because I know where to go. We open the door for Psycho. And in the meantime, we'll look ourselves in the glass. Oh no, don't break the glass! No! I want to be reflected, hang on! Let's try that. Ray tracing on very high. Let's see if we get reflected on the glass. That's the best part. Okay, it hasn't loaded yet. Come on, you got this game. Where am I? Yeah, some stuff takes time to load for some reason. Okay, I can see my shadow. Okay. Okay, my shadow is there. It's being reflected. I don't know why sometimes the 3D models do not load. Sometimes. Maybe it's a driver issue. Because the same happened with Psycho. When Psycho was being reflected, only his shadow was reflected. So probably because of the GPU that I'm using. There's probably a bug or something. So again, my advice for the settings, everything on high, but the shading and shadows on low. And that should do. That should give you mostly over 50 frames. And let's do a 30 frames configuration, which is everything on high, basically. So 1080p high would be for 30 frames. So if you want 30 frames, just play on high settings. Sensei no corre mejor, pero en el lado del CPU sí le gana. El tema es por el lado del GPU, come más GPU. Voy a hablar de todo eso al final. Me acuerdo de instalar Crysis 3 en un HD 4000 de Intel. Tampoco para tanto. Ah, ¿vos decís por los 3 FPS? Sí, literal. En ese caso sí, te la llevo. Alright. So yeah, 1080p high for 30 frames. And if you want better FPS, lower shading and shadows to low, and you're good to go. Okay. Excellent. Anyway. Let's do very quickly 900p just to test the GPU a little bit more. But overall I think I explained myself properly. Texture resolution on very high still hold it up, so that's perfect. And we put medium shading and medium shadows. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that fixes the problem right away. So if you want 60 frames more easily, 900p medium to high should do the job. Sorry, I forgot to fix the FPS counter. So 900p high settings with medium shadows and shading. Yeah, I'm swapping to the 570. Give me one sec. Gotta check out 900p super quick. And we swap to the 570. Yeah, we've been an hour already. Jesus, time flies.
Romeo 1, we breached Foxtrot 4. Burnout prepped and ready, over.
Nice one.
I love that the enemies are panicking. Imagine fighting against the nanosuit. I will be panicking as well. Cloaked engaged. Cloak engaged. I saw so many memes with cloak engaged. I remember reading a comment that said, "Girlfriend, I'm pregnant, me cloaked engaged." I found it hilarious. Oh, I died. So yeah, 900p for 60 frames. I think it's good. Good stuff.
Romeo 1, we've reached Foxtrot 4. We're now prepped and ready for over.
Nice one.
So yeah.
Sustain hull speed. Operational limits along the east dome.
Anyway, let's do 570 now. So 900p again. High settings, medium shading and shadows, and you get over 50 just fine. And if you want to go the very high route, well, you can do it. Although, no ray tracing. Do yourself a favor, avoid ray tracing with this GPU. It's not made for ray tracing, I mean, come on. So yeah. Anyway. Let's continue. And on very high you get 30 frames. So, if you want the very high, you can do it. As you can see, on 900p. Whoa. Wrong button.
Shooting like that is what got you banged up.
When I was 12, I first played this game and I cannot kill the last boss for literally 1 year because I don't know how to. Well, there were some bugs sometimes when there was an objective that had to be applied and it didn't. It happened to me when destroying the tower in the Welcome to the Jungle level. Can you Goomba stomp some enemies please? Yeah, sure. Sure. That's coming later. Give me 1 sec.
Romeo 1, Romeo 2.
Let's do 570 first, and then we stomp over some enemies. We Goomba over some enemies. So 570... Oh, sorry. 570, my icon is broken there. Huh, never mind. There we go. So 570, let me delete the drivers first. I want to make sure that the game doesn't run into any weirdness. So we're deleting all the drivers. Give me 1 sec. I don't want anything to interrupt what's going on. Oh, now that I think about it, maybe those GPU... Those... what's the name of this? Maybe that pop-in was due to MSI Afterburner. Sometimes it happens that some games bug out when you have MSI Afterburner. We'll see. I just don't understand how developers could make beautiful real-time reflections back in the days, and now there's that fake screen space reflection thing. Well, those reflections, the ones that are from the old days, are pretty limited, really. That's why everyone uses screen space. I mean, it has to be a very flat surface. That's why it's always a mirror or flat water. So there's a lot of limitations with those flat reflections that they used back then. It's not that simple. And some developers even went the extra mile, like in Super Mario 64, that they grabbed the 3D model and flipped it around and duplicated. But it wasn't a reflection, really. It was an entirely different room being duplicated. So yeah, I mean, it has its limitations. It's not that simple. If it was that simple, everybody would do real-time reflections without SSR and without ray tracing. So yeah. Yeah, those planar reflections, though, are way better than in the original. In the original, you look into the ground and it's white water. So yeah, that's a nice improvement, but the GPU hit is huge. You get like 25 frames less. It's insane. Okay, which would you play? 150 people voted, it says Remastered Crysis 3, and I agree. I mean, I'd rather have locked frame rates than bad frame times. In Crysis 3, OG Crysis 3, it really does happen. The frame times are terrible on that one. No worries, Chris. Happy to have you there, punching boulders. Anyway, 570 in. Gonna install those drivers once more. Alright, any chance for 750 Ti? Not today, we're doing that one on Monday. But in a separate video, don't worry, we're getting to it. The thing is, the VRAM usage is kind of a problem on that one, probably. Because the game is using more than 2 gigs, easy, even on high textures. So yeah. Anyway, let's install those drivers. Which will take a few minutes. So, 1 sec. What about Cap 60 in the original? Still stutters. Especially on the CPU side. It uses a lot of CPU, the original. So it uses more CPU on the original, so bad frame time. And at the same time, the grass runs at 30 frames per second. So I'd rather play the remaster at lower settings, personally. Because in the original, when you crank it up, I mean, yeah, it looks good, but a lot of reflections are messing in the water, because those planar reflections are not in the original. The grass is at 30 frames, the TAA, well, there's no TAA in the original. In the original, there is SMAA 2TX, which has a lot of shimmering. So I would say the biggest upgrade for budget gamers on this one is less stutter, even on lower end CPUs, and the shimmering is gone with the new TAA. So I think those are the two biggest upgrades for us, for the people that are not playing on high-end PCs. Over the original is still stability and less shimmering with TAA. Those are the biggest changes for me, at least. So yeah. Did you study computer science? You seem to know a lot. No, I haven't. I just read stuff on the internet and I learned by myself, really. I wish I went to something like that, but I didn't, because usually that's engineering. And engineering, well, math is not my strong suit, really. I mean, what I used to know a lot of these things is open up Unreal or Unity or stuff like that and try to replicate effects. For example, the reflections. I like checking those out in Unreal and Unity and see how they work. And there's a lot of ways to do reflections in video games. But looking at older games like Metal Gear Solid 2 on the PS2, Kojima for reflections in the bathroom, for example, he took the entire room, duplicated it, in a mirrored way, and grabbed the 3D model for Raiden and duplicated it, flipped. And that's how he did the reflection, but the reflection was only one room and one character moving around in a static place. So that reflection is very limited. So that's kind of the difference in technology, if you think about it. Yeah, math sucks. Yeah, I don't like math at all. But thanks to math, we got, well, computers and all that good stuff. And video games. Let me change the display to full RGB. So, full RGB and GPU scaling. For my capture card to do its job, you can make Metal Gear 2 slow down. What do you mean? GPU scaling. So weird, the pixel format is wrong. Let's try that again. Keep using sleeping darts and pile them up until it slows down. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. That's a nice fact, actually. Well, that's why they don't use it everywhere in the game. Kinda makes sense, now that you mention it. I heard about the Mario 64 duplicate reflection, but I didn't know it was still used, even in PS2 times. Yeah, it was. How weird, the color depth is wrong. Whatever. What can you do? Oh, there's another update, that's why. My bad. What about programming? No, programming, I'm not into it. I tried 7 times, in different courses and I couldn't get into it. So I said, okay, maybe in 5 years I try again. But I'm tired of trying programming. I just do not like it. So yeah, 90% of the time is debugging. That sucks. Yeah, making things work. Do you do any computer work? Yeah, I fix computers. I usually send my CV for companies that do technical fixes for servers and stuff like that. Or maybe home PCs. I like doing remote work. I tell people, okay, install, I don't know, TeamViewer, install AnyDesk, and I go remotely into their computers and fix stuff. Because people are terrible at managing computers, without a doubt. I mean, people managing computers are terrible. There's always a million icons on screen. Nobody uses. Everybody has 3 antiviruses running at the same time. You tried Java and you didn't get it. Well, Java is kind of, well, it's a lot different than C++. I tried C++. If I ever start trying programming again, maybe I'll start with a high level one. Yeah, like Java or Python. If you're ever gonna try again, try starting learning C or programming logic before another language. Yeah, I tried with Python and then with C++, but maybe it was a little too rough. Started with C++. But my issue is that the programming logic, too much for me, at least right now. It's more forgiving than Java, okay. Then it didn't start so bad. Python seems to be more popular now, yeah. For machine learning it's being used a lot. Sí, tal cual, Nano, a mí me pasa algo así. pero no en un pueblo, en una ciudad. JavaScript is good to learn too. Maybe Python seems a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, now I have full RGB again. Thank God. Let's go full RGB. Now I have the correct colors for my capture card. Thank God. Anyway, we enable enhanced sync so you guys don't see the tearing. You're welcome. We open MSI Afterburner, we launch the game, and here we go. So 570 first, we're doing the highest settings on 1080p. So 1080p very high, because why not? And we're going to the jungle level, because it's more demanding. New wallpaper, nice. Yeah, thanks. I liked this Halo wallpaper and I said, oh, okay, looks nice. Let's put it in the background. After playing Halo Infinite Flight, I don't know, I just got into the Halo theme. Kind of fun. But as I was saying, Crysis 3 on the remaster, the biggest upgrade for me, budget gamer, from my heart. The TAA solution, to me, is the biggest upgrade, and the CPU usage. The CPU usage is a lot better, less stutter, and better compatibility. I don't have an issue going full screen like on Crysis 2, and OG Crysis 3. And the grass is at 60 frames now. So those will be my biggest improvements to me. Then if you have a high-end PC, well, you can do ray tracing in some surfaces. Where's the textures? Let's put them on high. I don't want to take any chances. And oh, hang on. Is this a remaster or the OG Crysis? I'm lost. Yeah, this is the remaster. The menu is the same. I'm confused. Hang on. Okay, yeah, definitely the correct one. There's so many of these. Have you tried Magpie FSR? No, not yet. I want to do it, but lossless scaling seems to be easier to do. I want to do tutorials for both of them and see the differences between that and native resolution and native FSR in a video game. That would be interesting. So yeah, I'm waiting for that. Can it run? Probably. Oh no, not this one. Let me restart the level. Yeah, that was the wrong save file. My bad. Y Refresh, depende de por dónde lo mires. O sea, corre peor que el original. Pero tiene bastantes ventajas en cosas muy sutiles. Especialmente en el frame time. Usa menos CPU, entonces el frame time es más estable. Eso es lo mejor. Y el TAA se ve muy bien. Los bordes no son tan de serrucho. So for the people asking again, over the original, again, the TAA solution looks miles ahead the original SMAA. Then the grass at 60 frames, if you ever run the game at 60. And what else? Well, the frame time. The frame time is a lot better than the original. So yeah, the CPU performance is better. Try visual programming, maybe in the future, who knows. Okay, noise. Let's go this way. Yeah, none of this customization. Doesn't matter. I already applied that. Let's go. Okay, here we come. Let's see if the assets disappear now. Probably not, but hey. Crysis 1 reboot more heavy than Remastered? What do you mean? There's no reboot for Crysis 1. Okay. 30 frames per second, I'm very high. Very good for the 570. Probably going to drop when I get close to water, but very high is an option. Although now the frame time is less consistent, not sure why. It's pretty odd. But it's not spiky like in the original. Anyway. So this is very high. Let's keep going. Also do an IQ test. If it's not 140, stay away from programming. Minus 15 if you want to struggle. Okay, gotcha. Minus 15 IQ? Hang on, but there's many IQ tests. Which one do I have to do for programming?
Okay,
alright.
this is how it's gonna work. I'll call out the locations as I see them.
So as you can see, very high. Let's get some explosions out of the way. Hey, I'm here! Shoot me! Shoot me, come on! Okay, with explosions on screen it drops into the upper 20s, but very... Let's say explosion on the grass. Yeah, still fine. So if it runs well here, it's probably gonna run well the rest of the game. So if you want 30 frames and very high, it's doable. It's doable on very high. Jesus. So let's try getting 60 frames. We lower, it's pretty easy one. Medium shading, medium shadows, and that should do. Let's see. Okay, 50, my bad. Low shading, low shadows. Or high settings and medium shading and shadows, maybe. That combination should fix it, at least for us. Yeah, the assets issue seems to be fixed, yeah, true. Okay, so high settings, maybe it's an NVIDIA issue, who knows. So this is high settings, medium shading, and medium shadows. And that should give us 60 frames. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. So good job, 570. Yeah, the asset issue appears to be gone. Let's do the last checkpoint.
Okay, this is how it's gonna work. I'll call out
Yeah,
the
it's fine.
locations as I see 'em.
So high settings, medium shading. Good stuff. So yeah, the 570 is definitely superior in every way. We'll see if it persists on the 1650 Super later. Yeah, true.
There, Sector 1, Delta 0.
All the destruction, but it's super smooth now. Look at that. I'm sure the original stutters way more than this. I think I might check that out before continuing.
Prioritize Sector 1 Delta 6. Strong contender.
Filtering off, does it affect the texture? What do you mean filtering off? The anisotropic filtering, you mean?
Never mind, we can't use that. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Fuck, man. How are you firing that?
There we go. Gone, reduced to atoms.
But that is fucking beautiful!
Nanovision to destroy the mines. Explosion.mp3, yeah, that's true. Many games do have the MP3 explosion sound, without a doubt. That's hilarious. The blur effect looks cool. Oh, you mean the motion blur? Motion blur. No, motion blur is disabled. I turned it off because clarity for the live stream. Let's see if the asset disappearing issue is still there.
Enemy ICOM chatter indicates they're still in the area. How copy? Good copy. We're just coming up on the area now, over.
Yeah, no. Now the assets appear to be fine. Yeah, some pop in with the grass, but that's about it. Oh. Good to know.
Those electric arrowheads you got can light up a large area. Try them out in the lake there.
So let's try something super quick. Oh, depth of field. Okay, that makes sense. Depth of field, I think, is linked to the shading, if I remember correctly. So let me do something super quick. Game, some toggling, yes. So when I aim right there, and the image, I'll grab the image from the original. Where's the original? Here, I think. Yeah, this is the original. Okay. So the original is there. This is the screenshot I took, and this is now. As you can see, again, the reflection. Let me get closer. If not, this won't make any sense. There we go. So as you can see there, the reflections in the original break when you're looking down. Now there is a planar reflection for the skybox and all that, and stuff around it. And the grass is more green. So yeah. And I'm dead. That's fine. So definitely an improvement over the original, but the performance is worse. Yeah, there's less FPS. Although it seems more stable, without a doubt. Yeah, and the grass animation is 60 frames now. But as you can see, it's not hard to get 60s actually on the remaster. Just lower the shading and shadows and you're good to go.
Security lockdown in effect.
So if you have a 570, 1080p high, medium shadows, medium shading, the rest on high, and boom, you're good to go. Even when water is on screen. But as you can see, yeah, it disappears. But not to the degree of the original. In the original, if you look down on the water like this, the water is white. Completely white. Hey, Per Anderson. Is Crysis Warhead included? Unfortunately not. Crysis Warhead is not remastered. It's not included in the pack. That's the only one that it's missing, I think. Which is a shame. I like that one. It was a fun extra. So yeah, wonder if my 7400 can run the game. Yeah, it should run. Probably this one will run better for you because the other one, the original, is more CPU limited. So there's stutter. But as you can see, even shooting at the water is fine. So yeah, 60 frames grass, better TAA, better TAA. TAA, the original doesn't have TAA. It has some weird solution from 2013. And the grass is now 60 frames, so yeah, take the remaster without a doubt. Incluso multijugador, no. No, el multijugador no le pusieron ningún remaster. For the people asking, there's no multiplayer. The multiplayer on the remastered versions is not there. Which, personally, I played the multiplayer back in the day, the beta, but I don't know. Probably nobody would play it nowadays. Nobody, in a way that there's so many multiplayer shooters that I don't think they can make the bigger difference to justify remastering the multiplayer as well. Do you think my 3600 will survive the whole generation if you pair it with that RTX card? I don't know, probably. We'll see once the PS4 and Xbox One once those stop getting games. That's when the real next gen comes, when the last gen consoles are left behind. So again guys, 570, medium shading, medium shadows, the rest on high, and boom, you got 60 frames. And if you want 30 frames, put everything on very high, and you're good to go. Like this. Is it worth the changing graphics? I don't think so. I mean, very high probably looks better, but I would say it's pretty subtle. Oh, never mind. I think I found one big difference. Let me show you. Oh, okay. I found a huge difference. Hang on. Thank you so much, Sahendra, for the 14 Indian rupees donation. I hope you didn't get ripped off this time. He says, thanks for testing games for us, funny benchmark man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the channel. It means a lot. Hopefully this time YouTube actually receives the donation. How are you doing, man? So as I was saying, I noticed a huge difference from very high to high, now that I'm looking at it closely. I think it's post-processing. No, not post-processing. Then it's shading. Interesting how they changed the presets from the previous games to this one. Alright. He dubbed just the funny benchmark man. Well, I smile a lot, so it kinda makes sense. Let me see very quickly. I think the water reflection is different. No, it's the same. Maybe... Hang on. Let me see if this changes in any way. No, it's the same. Huh. I was pretty sure the cube map changed. Maybe in water quality. Oh, okay. There you go. Okay. So I found the difference, guys. From very high to medium that I was using. So when you put water below high, you miss a lot of cube maps. You miss a planar reflection, I think. Mixed with the cube maps, mixed with the screen space stuff. Because if I look down, yeah, we lose the screen space reflections. But if water is on high, you lose a lot of... You lose a planar reflection. Look at this. Let me show you very quickly with a screenshot. So, water on high, I think it is. Yeah, high. And on very high, the water has a different reflection. Look at that. The difference is pretty noticeable, I would say. Look. So this is water on the screenshot. The water is on high. And on the gameplay, it's on very high. So you can see the difference there with the reflection. Although, way better than the original still. The original, even on the highest, you lose a lot of reflections when looking down. So it's a nice upgrade. That's super interesting. So yeah, maybe keep the water on very high. So game effects on high, objects on high, particles on high, post-processing on high, shading on medium, shadows on medium, and water on very high. Maybe that's the key to maintain visuals. Okay. Yeah, that did the job. actually. Some drops below 50. Oh, never mind. When I move in the water, it drops frames like crazy. Which kind of makes sense. I mean, the water... It's basically the half of the screen is the water on this one. Yeah, definitely. Look at that difference. Yeah, the reflections are a lot better on very high. Y juega completa de nuevo, refresh. Ahora funcionan bárbaro. En PC no tienen tantos problemas como las versiones originales. Yo qué sé. Para mí están re bien ahora, para jugarlos. Son re jugables. So yeah, let's do 1440p now. 1440p. Super quickly, we're not going to make a huge comparison. So very high, we're doing now at 1440p. I'm guessing, again, 30 frames. Well, maybe below 30 at 1440p. It's probably very demanding. But hey, gotta give it a shot. For games near 100% GPU bound is ideal. Yeah, in general we try. Okay, yeah, no. 1440p on very high. Too many pixels. Let's do it on high then. High, high, high. Let's see, 30 frames. Still not. Medium shading and shadows on high. Let's see. Okay, yeah, definitely shading and shadows is the culprit. Let's see if it's shadows or shading. Definitely shading. Yeah, shading kills the frame rate right away. Yeah, it's shading. So water on very high to have those nice reflections. Shading on medium, shadows on high. There we go, 30 frames. So for 1440p, you can do pretty good graphics at 30 frames per second. You just need high settings. Very high water. And medium shading. And that's about it. You get 30 frames at 1440p. No FSR, unfortunately not. But you can do it externally with a separate program, which we're doing in the future, but not right now. Yeah, even in the water.
Primary asset has been destroyed.
So yeah, good stuff. 69% once remastered Crysis 3, hell yeah, nice! A nice amount of people wants the remastered Crysis 3. And I agree, I mean, it's more stable in every way. And the reflections are better. And the grass is at 60 frames, so I'd rather get stability. The thing is, it uses more GPU, so if your GPU is older, probably play the original. I'm talking below 1050 Ti. Those cards, play the original. If you have a 1050 Ti or faster, maybe play the remaster. It's going to be more stable. But you need to lower the graphics a little bit. But still holds up visually, really. Let's be honest. Visually still looks incredible in both versions.
Primary asset has been destroyed.
Okay, move!
Dead. Can't wait to see Xbox One. Yeah, we're going to check it out. That will be the most interesting one, I think.
Heads up, Prophet.
Let's very quickly do 4K. At 4K, I'm going for the lowest settings right away. I'm not trusting the GPU to deliver on that one. Alright. Low settings. And 4K. Here we go. 4K! Let's disable anti-aliasing for this one. I don't trust 4K at all. Okay, so 4K low.
Cell reinforcements en route.
Yeah, below 30 frames. As I was expecting, yeah, way more demanding than Crysis 2. Of course, obvious, but still. Nice checking it out. Looks so sharp at 4K, holy hell. I love how sharp it looks. I can see the individual blades of grass into the distance. Beautiful. Although without the anti-aliasing, I see shimmering in the distance. Let's enable the anti-aliasing for that one, just to see how it looks at 4K. Yeah, much better. Yeah, it looks incredibly sharp. Hopefully one day 4K is standard in around 5 to 7 years. Yeah, 1800p might make more sense, actually. 1800p I think makes more sense, yeah. But I mean, why would you play it at 1800p on a 570? Just because you say you can, just for that. Just for bragging rights. Yeah, 1800p is 30 frames per second actually, on low settings. And it still looks super sharp. So yeah, if you want to do a high resolution, 1800p is not a bad option really. And I'm amazed how well games look nowadays on low settings. That's kind of insane actually. Oh, there you are. Just for fun, just because you can do it anyway. No, but man, you don't have enough requirements to run the game at 1800. Do it anyway. Do it. ¿Qué tal se ve Remaster? ¿Mejora lo suficiente? Mejora muy poco, pero mejorar mejora. Especialmente la estabilidad del frame time. Anyway, so let's go back to 1080p. And we're going to do the 1650 Super now. Put it on very high. Oh, very high will enable ray tracing. My bad. I made a mistake. That was a terrible idea. Okay. Let me disable ray tracing super quick. Because it runs at 2 FPS with ray tracing on the 570. There we go. Nice. So we get out of the game. Yakuza Kiwami 2 on lowest settings looks like a PS2 game. Well, I said some games nowadays. But yeah, you're right. Yakuza Kiwami 2 on low settings looks bad. Without a doubt. But that's a weird engine. A pretty weird engine. So I don't blame them. Although, in Yakuza Kiwami 2, the physics are great. Let's swap GPUs. 570 out. Good job. 1650 Super in. Come on. There you go. And I got installed NVIDIA drivers now because I deleted everything. Santiago, do you have a Switch? Not anymore. I had a Switch a couple times, but I stopped playing it after I finished Skyrim and a lot of games I didn't finish. Well, Borderlands, the Borderlands franchise, I played it entirely on the Switch. It was amazing. But I don't have it anymore. I didn't play it. Now I would like to have one to do performance tests. Now that I can do console comparisons. Would be nice to have a Switch, but at the same time, I don't think I need one. I have already so much work with the Xboxes that I'd rather skip the Switch for testing. And there's emulator for Switch, so I'd rather do emulation for budget GPUs and CPUs than the actual Switch itself. Code provided by the Crytek? Yeah, thanks Crytek for providing a code for the game. I've been playing it last week, actually. So I did a lot of the comparisons with my eyes last week before the game was launched, which was interesting. I usually do not get games super early, and I got the Crysis trilogy like 5 days before release, but I had an NDA, so I was under NDA. So I couldn't say anything. But yeah, I've been playing it on the consoles, on PC, trying to check out the differences. And now I was finding ways to tell you guys what changed, what didn't change. And overall, the biggest difference is Crysis 2. Crysis 2, miles ahead. But Crysis 3 looks almost the same. Yeah, it's GPU bound. But you don't test emulation on live streams. I mean, with so many games releasing, I've been doing less emulation. Emulation is in general when no games are releasing, which was the biggest part of the year. No new games were coming out because, you know, everything that's going on in the world. But yeah, emulation I usually leave it for when there are no new games. I try to put emulation there, since that's when I have the most time to check it out. Man's now signing up NDAs? No, I didn't sign up for any NDA. They told me, okay, we give you a code, but you're under NDA till certain date. The only time I've been under signed NDA was Mortal Kombat 11. I remember when I played that one, Warner Brothers was very, WB Games was really demanding with the NDA. I remember they gave me the game a couple days early and they said, hey, you cannot say anything about the game. So I was okay, thanks for the code. So yeah, I waited until that thing was done. Shader cache size. Oh, this is new. What the hell? A limited shader cache size. This is a new option, right? It would be interesting to check this out. Interesting. So you can have a limited cache. Unlimited cache, I mean, when you're playing games and it stutters and you get the cache stored. I didn't know it has a default value. I thought it was always unlimited. Interesting. So now I don't have to reload the games over and over. That's a cool option. Although probably for us, it doesn't make a huge difference. So yeah, that's new. The shader cache size. This will be helpful for emulators, actually, I think. So yeah, if you play multiple games, it'll make them being accessible faster, I would say. And what I mean by that is, for example, you're playing an Unreal Engine 4 game that stutters a lot. For example, Jedi Fallen Order. That's a game that stutters a lot. That's loading up the shader cache on your GPU. After some time passes, you play other games, and you load up Fallen Order way later. Well, probably those shaders that you cached at the beginning are gone, so you got stutters all over again. So maybe that makes a difference in that case, but that's a very specific use case scenario. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. That's probably the biggest difference I would see. If you have a lot of games, you never install new drivers, you never delete the drivers. Try New World, the GPU destroyers, maybe in the future. New World, I tried the beta, and that was about it. I didn't need to test more. I had enough with the beta. Come on, Epic Games Store, launch the dang game. Yeah, the 750 Ti is still getting support, yeah. I mean, the 750 Ti is still 700 series, but it's a different architecture. It's Maxwell. The other ones were, I forgot the name.
Achieved with CryEngine.
But yeah, the 750 Ti is still getting driver support, which is amazing. I love that. Let's go full screen. An epic of epic games. Never used to compile shaders a few years ago. What do you mean? That the shader compilation wasn't as noticeable? If that's the case, I agree. Alright, let's go back. Kepler, there we go. Kepler is now out of the driver pool thing, yeah. Maxwell, the 750 Ti is Maxwell. So probably the next one will be Maxwell. But that's fine, I mean, makes sense. It's been what? 7 years? It's been a while. Alright. Okay. So very high. Let's see if everything is there. Very high textures, SMAA 2TX, very high everything, except in ray tracing. And I'm dropping below 30 on the 1650 Super. So the 570 runs it better. That's odd. Interesting. So the 570 runs it better. That's new. Interesting. When Pascal runs out of support, it will be a sad day. Hell yeah. The used GPU market will collapse. Oh, let's see if the assets are loaded in. Let's see if it's still an issue on Nvidia cards.
Heads up, Prophet. Cell reinforcements en route.
We go this way. No, it doesn't seem to be an issue now. Textures are not... Assets are not disappearing. Yeah, that was an issue with the 1050 Ti actually, that's interesting. No, it's not the X12, this is the X11. So yeah, pretty weird. 570 is usually slower, so... Good job AMD. Good job AMD. Anyway, let's try the 570 settings, which were medium shadows, medium shading, high post process, high particles, high object. Yeah, that's about it. That should... In the 570 that gave us... sorry, my tongue. In the 570 that gave us 60 frames. So this was high settings. So high settings, medium shading and shadows. Now let's see if it holds up. If it holds up. What's going on with my voice today? Yeah, it drops below 50 to the 40s actually. That's pretty interesting. So 570 runs it better. What a weird world we live in today. That the 570 is running it better than the 1650 Super. What the hell?
Gunslinger 2-1, action. Enemy ICOM chatter in
Let me lower those textures just in case. The video memory is fine, but just in case. As long as the 1060 is the most popular Steam GPU, Nvidia will support it, I guess. Yeah, maybe, but you never know.
Try 'em out in the lake there.
Yeah, no, not the textures. Good to know. Yeah, I'll try one more thing. I'll try deleting the shader cache in the game's save files. Is this game AMD optimized? I don't know. But fine wine, indeed. Fine wine wasn't snake oil, after all. It was a real thing. Anyway, give me one sec. Users, saved games, Crysis 3 Remastered, shaders, buy, models cache, buy. And that should do. That should give us a clean start. Let's see. Is Demon Slayer game in your planning for testing? I don't know what that is. What is Demon Slayer? Demon Slayer game. I never heard about it. It's on Steam. Interesting. Probably not, but who knows? I might.
Achieved with CryEngine.
And people are saying optimization patch is empty. Rollback netcode is empty. Okay, it's a fighting game. Interesting. Neat. I might check it out. Thanks for the heads up. I'm not that weeb. Yeah, I'm not weeb enough for that game. Nah, I'm kidding. Nothing against weebs. We still love you. If it wasn't for weebs, we wouldn't have Nier Automata. So thank you guys. We love you. Peace. Yeah, no, I'm not interested in that one. I usually like some anime titles here and there. But I'm not a huge fan. I like them when they're well done. I love the game I liked that was anime related, apart from Nier Automata, was Scarlet Nexus. I actually enjoy the fighting in that game. Yeah, no, that didn't fix the performance. We're still into the 40s, so definitely Crysis 3 is running better on AMD so far. Interesting. That's unexpected actually, because Crysis 2 runs better on Nvidia. Crysis 2, I mean the remaster, even. So yeah. Anime was not a mistake. It depends. It depends. Sometimes it can be a mistake, but many things can be a mistake if you try hard enough. Let's use iron sights. ¿Te gusta el anime? Eres otaku, igual a mí imposible. No, no creo. La veo difícil. Let's list some anime recommendations. Well, my friends recommend me Death Note. But I watched the first episode and then I usually do not watch TV shows. Oh, there's an FOV slider. That's something different from the original, actually. Look at that. A nice FOV slider. Yeah, let's put it at 69 degrees. A nice FOV. Excellent. Okay, the gun models stay the same size, which is understandable. Still, I wish the guns could get a little bit smaller. But hey, what can you do? Yeah, the FOV at 69 is a lot better. It gives me almost the same frame rate, more visibility, but 100 times more sexiness. Without a doubt.
Sector is now in lock.
Your friends are sort of generic weeps then. Recommending you Death Note. Yeah. I don't know. Although that recommendation was like 10 years ago, I think. Yeah. No, sorry, 5 years ago. I'm not that old. So anyway, let's try to get 60 frames. So what I'm doing, I lower the shading and shadows. And let's see. Still not enough. Maybe the water is the issue on this one. Water on low. Nope. Post-processing on low. Let's do lowest settings right away. Why bother?
Security lock.
Yeah, it runs the same. What the hell? I'm confused. Yeah, something is not right. I mean, it doesn't seem to improve in any way by lowering settings. Look at this, 45, 46. But if I go very high, very high, very high, keep shadows and shading down, I get a performance hit on the water, but never mind. Yeah, mid-30s. We lose 10 frames. Maybe something is off. There. If I put everything on very high, but water on high,
Those electric arrowheads you got can light up a large
and shading and shadows
Try 'em out in the lake there.
low, it runs the same as lowest settings. I already restarted the game multiple times.
Level is now elevated.
So yeah, something seems off. I'm pretty sure it's not the drivers because I installed them from the very start. So it shouldn't be the drivers because I deleted the previous ones. So yeah, I don't know. I already did everything I could. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. Let me restart. Let me delete the drivers again just to make sure, and I'll see if my GPU drivers are the correct ones. Wasn't this an Nvidia sponsored title? No, Crysis 3 wasn't an Nvidia sponsored title, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see the latest drivers, which ones they are. So GeForce, yeah, I have a 3090, of course. 496.13. Yeah, I have the latest drivers, which say game ready driver for Crysis Remastered Trilogy. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, let me, just as a last resort, let's delete the drivers and reinstall them. This takes forever. I hate this. But what can you do? So yeah, we delete again. If there's any trace of the AMD drivers, we delete it. In the meantime, I'll talk to you guys. So resetting drivers. Drivers. Be right back. No need to go to safe mode. No, if I'm disconnected from the internet, it's usually not necessary. So that's what I'm doing. I mean, safe mode is nice, but in general is so it doesn't interfere with other things. And I haven't noticed a difference so far. So let's try that again. We remove every trace of AMD drivers, any trace of NVIDIA drivers, and we try it again. Okay, no, and now the NVIDIA drivers and restart. So yeah, let's give it a shot once more. I'm guessing something is off, but if it isn't, because I think on this 1050 Ti I was able to get 60s by lowering the settings. I think. Let me go back to my other live stream. My previous minutes of the live stream. Low shading and shadows. Yeah, no, something is off. The 1050 Ti was able to do 60 frames on low shading and shadows. So yeah, something is definitely off with the drivers. Good thing that I paid attention. Thanks, guys. Yeah, it makes no sense, the performance that I got there. So good thing I decided to delete them and reinstall them. AMD Fine Wine just means to have good driver support for older cards. Well, yeah, that's true. And to think we complained about drivers on AMD. Well, drivers used to be pretty terrible on AMD. They fixed that quite a bit on the 400 series. Then on the 5000 series, they screwed them up again. But then they redeemed themselves with the drivers. No tengo una 1070, pero quién sabe en el futuro qué pasa. Here we go. I like how you have an actual picture of yourself on Windows Startup. I didn't do it. That's my picture of my Microsoft account. Since I use it to send my CV now, I have a profile picture, but that's only for, how to say this, for business purposes. I have a picture. But the thing is, that picture is translated to your Windows operating system because you're using your Microsoft account, so it takes your full name and your picture, which is hilarious. Senda say hello to the Veva army. What do you mean, Veva army? I think Metro Exodus Enhanced needs RTX capable cards to run. Yeah, it does. It does. I'm not sure if AMD ray tracing capable cards run it. I think they are. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Metro Exodus Enhanced requires ray tracing capable hardware. If not, it doesn't run. You need to play the original. No elevator music. It's on my full face part. So yeah, at the moment, no elevator music. Because we're installing drivers, so bear with me. There we go. NVIDIA installer finished. Wonderful. Let's restart the PC just in case I connect to the internet. And we're doing the same as before. I'm pretty sure that it runs faster than the 570. Cannot be. Mark my words. Let's see what happens. I'm pretty sure that the 1650 Super is much faster in this game. But the drivers effed it up. So 1080p, high settings. Medium shading and shadows. In the meantime, let's open the game on MSI Afterburner. 4K desktop, yeah, 4K desktop. I only do it because games sometimes break if you don't have 100% scaling on your resolution. So yeah. So again, mark my words, I'm pretty sure this has to run at over 60 frames with these settings. I think even high settings can do 60 frames on this card. ¿Y de la segunda de la 570 de 8? Mira, la diferencia de la 570 de 4 y de 8, le podría subir a las texturas, pero en este juego no te va a cambiar nada porque usa menos de 4 GB. Te ayuda en juegos que usan mucha memoria de video, pero en otros casos no tanto. Correrían igual. So, something that I was saying, guys, someone was asking me about the 570 4GB versus 8GB. The thing with that is that the 4GB version runs the same unless the game uses more than 4 gigs of VRAM, which is pretty common nowadays. This is not one of those games. 68 FPS on very high? No, I don't think so. That's a little much. But I'm pretty sure with these settings that I'm mentioning, high settings with medium shading and shadows, I'm pretty sure it's going to be way over 60. Easy. If the 570 can do it, the 1650 Super should be more than capable. Something is off with the drivers there. Let's see. Moment of truth. And if that's not the case, well, I stand corrected. But you saw there, I deleted the drivers, I installed fresh ones. Let's see. En Crysis 3 no creo que fuera necesario, pero en los anteriores sí. Okay, let's see. There we go. Point made. The drivers were bad. Look at that. 80 frames. 80 frames. Let's do high settings then. I knew something was off. I knew it. On high settings it drops into the 50s, but on the settings that I told you guys, it was fine. It was perfect. I love when that happens. Let's do something different. Let's do high settings, very high water, medium shading and high shadows. Yeah, this should be the best settings. You get all the reflections, all the bells and whistles, and you should stay over 60. I tried very high, but I will try very high, that said. So we're doing high settings. Very high water. And medium shading. And that should do. So high settings, again. High, medium shading, very high water, so we don't miss those nice water reflections. And there we go, 60 frames. Ah, nice. Although when water gets shot at, yeah, it drops. So maybe water on very high was a little too much. What was the problem? The drivers. I had the AMD drivers in the background. That was a bad idea. So I had to delete them. Sometimes it happens, some weirdness happens. Sometimes it doesn't. This was one of the cases where it happened, unfortunately. But it's rare circumstances. It happened here and on Battlefield 2042, but then in all the other games I tried... Oh, look at that. The bug I had with the 1050 Ti is back. The LOD bug is back. So yeah, I have to definitely tell Crytek about this. Because it's pretty noticeable. Let me see if I disable Afterburner, if that fixes the problem. No, it doesn't. Let me close it up. Yeah, something is broken there. But I had the same issue with the 1050 Ti, so something is off. Does this game have DRM? I do not know. Let's restart the checkpoint. Yeah, the bug seems to be with Nvidia cards, without a doubt. One sec. Yeah, the AMD drivers were preventing the glitch, but killing performance. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there it is again. Dang it. Yeah, I will notify Crytek about it. But there's some object pop in on Nvidia cards. So in the meantime, let's open MSI again, so we see the frame rates. Very quick, we do 1440p, 4K, and boom, let's do Xbox. But that's so weird, guys. I hate when that happens. So the thing I'll do for the future reference, remind me in the comments, I'll do the 570 first, maybe, and then the video cards. Or I could delete the drivers in the middle each time, which would take longer, but it will be more reliable. Can you tell me why difference between shader quality? Good question. Depending on the Crysis game, Crysis 2 with the shaders had a little of the indirect lighting being affected. Here it seems to be what's the name of this? Keep forgetting. The ambient occlusion. The shading on this one seems to be the ambient occlusion, because I remember on OG Crysis 3 I got way worse ambient occlusion with shading on medium, so maybe that's why. Who knows? Much better to test 570 first. Yeah, I think so. 570 first, then the Nvidia cards. Yeah, I think that will do the job better. So I can do AMD, I delete the drivers once, and get those out of the system. Also, the 570 I think is more popular with you guys right now. Let's do another poll. Now that I finished the first poll, let's do another one. So in the meantime, so high settings, medium shading, and you're good to go. 60 frames. But the thing is, that bug with the assets disappearing, that's not good. That definitely needs to be fixed. It seems to be Nvidia specific. So yeah, which would you play? Remastered Crysis 66%, OG Crysis 3 with bad FPS and frame times 33%. Bad frame times, FPS are better on the OG Crysis 3. The thing is the frame times. The frame times on OG Crysis 3, yeah, no. So yeah, anyway. Let's do 1440p now. Oh, before that, let's use very high. Very high. Very high. Everything on very high, except in those ray traced things. If you had an old PC, you haven't got a choice but to play OG Crysis. If you have an old GPU, old PC, not so much. This one has better CPU performance, actually. Stutters way less, so the CPU usage, they did a good job with that. I think the grass being different from the original makes it less CPU demanding. Oh, this is now very high. So load last checkpoint, yes please. Texture is very high, yeah, it seems to be enough. Doesn't seem to be maxing out the VRAM on this one. So on very high now you get over 30 frames. I knew something was off with the drivers. I love the water ripples in this game. So mesmerizing. Beautiful. I played Crysis 2 in a Core 2 Duo and a 9800 GT back in the day. Well, Crysis 2 is a different story. OG Crysis 2 on a 9800 GT, yeah, it runs. Well, the remaster should run as well. It will run worse, but we're talking about different technology here. Crysis 3, if you get this one seems to be using more VRAM, first of all, and uses more GPU. But at the same time, it has less problems on the CPU side, so if you have more than 2 gigs of VRAM, you could benefit from the remaster. And the other big improvement, at least for me, is the TAA. The TAA looks incredible in this one. Over the original, the shimmering is gone. The original, it has shimmering everywhere. Here is better disguised with TAA. But it looks amazing. Very high fixes the LOD glitch, right? No, it doesn't. I think. Or does it? Oh yeah, it's fixed. What the hell? Well, I mean, if it's fixed because of very high, then it makes sense that they didn't see it, because probably when the developers are testing the game, they're playing it on very high. So maybe it's a bug with lower settings on Nvidia cards. Yeah, the problem is gone. Huh. Interesting. Let's see. If this is something we found, well, nice.
Up a large area. Try 'em out in the lake.
Let's try that again. So we'll look right here. Okay, everything is on screen, nothing disappears. Let's lower object to high. Object should be the draw distance. Yeah, the shimmering was even present at 4K in the OG Crysis 3. Okay, it's not object. Let's try everything on high. Like that. No, now it's fixed. Oh, never mind. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Definitely a bug with the lower settings on Nvidia cards. But nobody plays on high settings. I mean, who plays on high settings? No freaking way. Yeah, there we go. If I move the camera super quick, some things pop right out. The LODs are broken on below very high. Yeah, Leon, I agree with you, Leon. He says TAA gets a lot of bad rep due to the blur, but honestly there's nothing better at eliminating shimmering in motion. Exactly. There is, I mean, shimmering is completely gone. The thing with TAA is if you're on 1080p or below, you can see the softness of the image. So yeah, TAA works best on a very high resolution. Yeah, it's fixed, so that's an issue I have to report to Crytek. Interesting findings, guys. We found bugs for the developers to fix. So definitely they probably didn't notice that, because who tests Crysis below very high? Nobody. Especially the developers. The developers probably have an RTX high-end GPU thing. So cool. So if you lower the settings below very high, on some Nvidia cards you're going to get missing assets. So the game punishes you for having lower end hardware. So thanks guys. We found a glitch. Interesting.
Heads up, Prophet. Cell reinforcements en route.
So yeah, I'm going to make a video for Crytek to fix that problem. That's so nice. Yeah, when I aim down sights, the only thing that disappears is the skybox, but due to the depth of field. So yeah, Epic Games will give you $10 Epic coupon if you sign up for its emails this month only. Well, take advantage. If you want to buy the Crysis trilogy, that's a good way. Give me one sec, gotta check something in the meantime. So let's do 1440p now. 1440p. So graphics, 1440p, where you are. There you are. Yeah, if you go below very high, Crysis 3 becomes Cyberpunk. Can't deny it's all true, but everyone wants to live here. Man, I love that Cyberpunk trailer. So memeable now. Hey Porter Cruz, it's been a while. How are you doing, man? Okay, 1440p. We gotta lower some settings, without a doubt. Medium shading, that should do. Take it or leave it. Okay, that's a huge boost with shading on medium, what the hell. But we have the graphics glitch, yeah we do, there we are. Yeah, the graphics glitch is still there, maybe it's because shading on medium. Maybe if I put shading on high, it's fixed, who knows. Maybe it's to do with shading, it's better remastered than Alan Wake. That's a good question. Yeah, it's shading. Shading on medium breaks... No, never mind, it's not shading. My bad. So as I was saying, that's a weird glitch, first of all. And as I was saying, Alan Wake it's a different kind of remaster. This remaster fixes some stuff around. The game already looked amazing, in my opinion. But Alan Wake is basically... okay, what the hell. Runs so much better with medium... medium shading. Anyway, as I was saying, the Alan Wake Remaster is better 3D models, better... slightly different lighting. And this one, and it has TAA. This one is similar to that, but the Crysis 3 already look good, so the improvements are less noticeable. Okay. So 1440p is pretty easy to run now. In comparison to the 570, well, it's miles ahead. The thing is, those missing textures, missing assets, better said, are pretty annoying. Anyway, got 1440p, medium settings, what am I talking about? Low shading and low shadows. That should do. Or not. Nope. I gotta lower the water then. Well, medium to low. It is. Okay. So medium settings at 1440p. Medium, low shading, and shadows. And that will give you 60 frames at 1440p. Pretty impressed, actually. Was expecting worse. The thing is, the missing assets are annoying. The OG Crysis 3 looks better than Halo Infinite. Well, yeah. But that isn't difficult to do. I mean, come on. Nah, I'm kidding. The thing with Halo Infinite is that I think they're still using the same engine as the previous Halos. I think, with improvements of course. But it doesn't translate so well on the performance.
Damn it, I'm about to die!
Yeah, you're about to die, and you did. Okay, it drops below 60 when water is doing its job. But overall, 1440p, good. Pretty good. Something should apply as a game bug tester. Yeah, I would be pretty good at that, but at the same time, it requires some extra qualifications, and it's usually a pretty garbage job, because I stumble upon it by accident. I'm not actively looking for bugs, so it would probably suck to be a bug finder thing, to be honest. And I don't know why shading on high breaks the performance right away. I mean, shadows on high, okay, 26 frames, but shading on medium gives you like 50 frames. Yeah, it's ridiculously better with shading on medium. I don't know, that's kind of odd. So we're going to put everything on very high, but shading on medium. 8K? No, not this time. Maybe next time. Crysis, I don't like forcing 8K on Crysis. I don't want my PC to explode. At least not yet. There we go. So very high. Let's start the checkpoint again. So very high settings, medium shading, and boom, 30 frames at 1440p with good graphics. I mean, again, the original really looked amazing. Game effect to medium. No, it doesn't seem to do much. At least not right now. There's definitely a bug with one of the settings. On the setting... oh, let me see if there is any issues with the... okay. The assets do not disappear on very high with medium shading. So let me find very quickly which setting is causing the problem, so I can report it. But 1440p runs okay, 30 frames. But I'm seeing that, yeah, I'm very high with shading on medium is fine. Let's do one by one. Game effects on medium. Okay, nothing. Game effects is fine. Green light, medium effects, objects, sorry. Okay, object is fine. We passed that test. Particles. Okay, he passes the test. Post-processing, maybe it's this one. No, not post-processing. Shadows? Maybe?
Those electric arrowheads you got could light up a large area.
Nope. Water? Is it really water? Yeah, it's water. We found the bug. Water on medium. Just keep it on very high. That should fix it. Yeah, that fixes the bug. Found the bug, guys. Found the bug. It's the water. The water quality breaks the game. So let me put everything on low to show you. So put the water on very high. No exceptions. If I put it on very low, okay, there's still some bugs here and there. They're entirely fixed. But if I put the water on very low, on very low, below very high. Okay, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Water below very high is the issue. It's not post-processing, it's the water. So yeah, keep water on very high and you're good to go. That fixes the issue right away. Yeah, there we go. What has water to do with the assets? Well, the thing is, this level has tons of water everywhere. So maybe it has to do with the draw distance of certain assets that are close to water. I don't know. That's I suppose it has to do with that, but maybe it doesn't. The other thing is, the AMD cards do not have this problem. The AMD cards were fine. But water is a huge part of this level. Things usually break and it makes no sense. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's remove the silencer. What the hell? Not a single shot. Never mind, a couple shots in. Let's do 4K now. So 4K. Reapply. Is the gun modding new? No, that's been there since the first game. I love that thing. I love that Battlefield took it. Battlefield took the modding, the gun modding on the fly thing. Many games took it actually. But I like that a AAA game is taking it as well. Let's do 4K medium first. So everything on medium. Even the water, just for testing purposes. It will cause graphical glitches, but hey, what can you do? 4K medium, below 30, so we're doing low. Everything on low, because we need every frame that we can render at 4K. So 4K low. There we go. Still below 30, but hey. What can you do? And as you can see, still asset streaming is kind of broken for some reason. Still waiting for the pull over AMD and Nvidia. Oh, I forgot. Sorry. Which card should I test first? GTX 1050 Ti. RX 570, 1650 Super. When live. There we go. So 4K low. As you can see, still the streaming asset issue. I love that each time I move the camera, it gets worse. But I pause the game and it fixes itself. Let's see if water on very high fixes the problem. Let's see if that trick... Yeah, there we go. There's still some minor bugs here and there. But yeah, water on very high fixes the asset streaming issue for some reason. Not completely, but it improves things significantly. Should be 750 Ti, you wrote 1050. No, what 750 Ti? What are you talking about? No, 750 Ti is now for separate videos. Oh, that's a fun one. You got me for a second. Okay, yeah, there's still some asset streaming issues in some things that are not related to water. Like that asset over there. So yeah. Once I report it, I will do it correctly. Because when you put the water below very high, I mean, look at this. Move back. There we go. So yeah. Definitely they need to fix that. But if I aim down sights or I move the camera like that, it fixes itself. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Something is broken with water on very low. So yeah. Anyway. Let's go now for the Xbox. So we turn off the PC. And we go to the Series S. So 1 sec. So, Xbox Series S, first look. All in caps, because why not? Heard the GTA 5 though. Not sure if it's good looking or just an optimized. What do you mean? Oh, somebody did something in caps and I couldn't read it. Sorry. So, Crysis 3. Let's see how that goes. Hey, Team Perspectiva. How's it going, man? Long time no see. Saw you yesterday, literally. Okay, we're at 4K. Whoa. Unreal Engine GTA Remastered. Oh, you mean, yeah, I see. That's probably going to be interesting. Because they really did change the engine to Unreal. Things are going to look very different. Okay. So I played on Series S until the part we were testing on the 1650 Super. So let's see how that goes. And remember, I'm using a controller. So good numbers, probably. Damn loading times though, yeah. Oh, what? Oh, okay, first level. Okay, I can already tell this is 60 frames per second. Without a doubt. Yeah, it's butter smooth. And then I'm going to check if I can disable motion blur, but it's solid 60. I can see when moving the camera. Completely solid. I don't know the resolution, I forgot about that. I think it was... Let me check. Crysis 3 Remastered, Series S, resolution. Hang on. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's butter smooth. It's 60 frames. Yeah, that's nice. Although, look at that pop in. Something tells me this is going to be weird. Series S is between 900p and 1440p. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a 60 frames configuration here. Let's see, is a remaster on Steam? Not yet, only the first one. The other two games are probably coming later. Alright. Yeah, the draw distance is pretty poor. But it's solid 60. Yeah, feels completely stable. Let's see the explosions. The explosions usually kill the GPU on PC. Oh, okay. Okay, it's fine. looks fine. Although I can see more shimmering than on 1080p, so it's probably below 1080p in this area at least.
Nothing. Just an energy surge. Energy source depleted. Gone now.
So yeah, the thing between 900p and 1440p, well, first of all, this game is running through backwards compatibility, so that's one of the big disadvantages.
Okay, this is how it's gonna work.
Because we're playing the Xbox One version on the Series S, so Xbox One code and Series S, so not native hardware. We're playing through, again, backwards compatibility.
As soon as you get the hardware, we'll knock
So it's
the master out
900p with,
Sector 1 Delta 3, looks good.
what's the name?
There.
Xbox One
Sector
settings,
1
but we
Delta
can go
0.
up to 1440p, so between 900p and 1440p.
Sector
If there
1
was a
Delta
native
2,
mode,
got something.
we could probably do a higher resolution.
Warning. Subject.
Yeah, please don't have the same graphics bugs than on PC.
I thought that would be
Please.
fucking obvious.
Yeah, let's go, let's go. Yeah, I think it's coming to Steam probably a
Prioritise
year
Sector 1
from
Delta
now.
6, strong contender.
I mean, come on. It happens every time.
Completed. Weapon system offline.
GTA Trilogy $59.99. Well, it's 3 GTA games. They can charge $59.99.
Fuck me.
I think they can get away with it. It's Rockstar. I mean, come on.
But that is fucking beautiful. Okay, you got Cell's attention. Suggest we move out immediately.
Explosions, explosions.
Warning. High altitude defense tower 3 Delta 3.
There we go. Nanovision.
Disabled. Response units relocated.
Yeah, but so far, solid 60.
Give me an update on your
They
position.
got that right.
Let's link up.
The solid 60s are there. Although I'm seeing the grass pop in into the distance. Is that the same issue as on the PC? Only game people care about San Andreas? I don't know. Well, I'm a pretty hardcore gamer myself, so... Okay. Okay, definitely doesn't have the same issue about drawing assets like on the PC. Although the reflections look different. Look like brighter
Those
reflections.
electric arrows you got can light up a large area.
Yeah,
Try them out in the lake there.
let's try that. We stand right here like before. And whoa, this is a pretty low resolution. Yeah, in this part I'm noticing that it's below 1080p. Looking at this part right now. Let's see, we take a screenshot. Oh, we don't need to take any screenshots actually. I have one of the PC version. So let's do it. So the PC version, where did I leave that? Here. So this is the PC version. And let's see how it goes once I get there. But I could see that the resolution dropped below 1080p. It was pretty obvious in that part. And this is one of the most demanding parts on the PC, so kinda makes sense. This is probably the lower bounds of the resolution scaler. So let's see.
Those electric arrowheads you got can light up a large area.
Let's get. Oh man, they discovered me every time. Dang it. I gotta go cloaked to that one. 3 is good. It's simpler, but makes it actually good for mobiles. What do you mean? Oh, GTA 3. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice game actually. I remember playing more Vice City and San Andreas though. But it makes sense. They are superior games, technologically speaking. Okay, I'm going to stay cloaked right here. Let's compare both.
Those
Okay.
electric arrowheads you got can light
So
up
the
a
grass
large area.
is less
Try 'em out
green,
in the lake there.
first of all. Yeah, it's like brighter. Hang on, let me see if it's my capture card. It might be my capture card. Let's see that again. No, it's not. Okay, good. Let's try that again. Yep, no, it's not my capture card. I had to try it just in case. So as I was saying, yeah, I mean, without a doubt the PC version looks better. that it's always the case. You can crank up the settings to whatever you want on PC. So this looks more like what I was doing in the past. Medium shading, high water, because there's now the full reflection is not there. So yeah, it looks like a mix between medium and high. Although the water looks weirdly flat. So maybe on the water they changed something. Hey RX4D, how's it going, man? So as I was saying, on the PC version, the water has way more geometry, and the reflection on the water seems to be, I mean, the reflection that I'm noticing on the water, the planar reflection, seems to be the same as medium to high settings, and the screen space reflection is present, but it's less noticeable. So yeah, it looks like medium to high water, but the water itself is way more flat. It doesn't have as many ripples as on the PC on high settings. So it seems to be medium water, maybe high objects. Medium to high, yeah, medium to high settings. Seems to be mostly medium to high. Why is lighting so different? I do not know. It seems to be brighter on the Series S. So it seems to be like medium to high, but the reflections there are pretty, yeah, the draw distance of the reflections is pretty bad. So yeah. And shadows, I'm not sure. Shadows, in Crysis, shadows look the same to me in general. Usually either higher resolution shadows or... I mean, the filtering of the shadows in Crysis 3 is so strong that it's hard to notice the difference for me. I mean, yeah, the reflections are there, but the draw distance of the reflections appears to be way lower. So yeah, I'm noticing that water ripples, way less water ripples. The draw distance of the shadows is worse, and the reflections as well, as you can see there, the shadows pop in and out. And the grass moves less, I think, let's see. Hang on. Not a single shot in. There we go. And the grass... Okay, the grass moves at 30 frames. Yeah, this has to be 30 frames per second grass. Yeah, on PC... Okay, I notice now the difference. It's more obvious. The game runs at 60 on the Series S. It has worse graphics, without a doubt. But the grass seems to be at 30 frames, and the water ripples as well. But the water looks so flat on the Xbox version. Yeah, this seems more like the original, on the screen space reflections. I'm so good with a controller, said no one ever. Yeah, I mean, there are reflections, but they are lower distance. You need to be closer to see them. And the water ripples are basically... Yeah, they're not as dynamic as on the PC. But again, makes sense. On PC you can do whatever you want with the graphic settings. And this has to run at 60 frames. So it makes sense that they made those sacrifices. But again, if they made a native Series S version, instead of backwards compatibility, maybe they could have done better settings. So yeah, let's see if it holds 30 on Xbox One. So Series S, butter smooth 60, it drops below 1080p, was pretty obvious. And what else? But the graphics are lower than on PC, obviously, makes sense. So yeah, on there they traded visuals for performance, without a doubt. Which makes sense, I mean, 60 frames should be the standard, the minimum. Nothing against 30 frames, of course. Hang on, let me turn on the lights, it's too dark. So, much better. So as I was saying, nothing against 30 frames, but I like 60 being the baseline. So I think the sacrifices make sense. but I would have liked to see a native serious version of the game instead of the backwards compatible mode. So Xbox One, first look. Hey 750, hey, what's up 1050 Ti users? Hey Adarsh, how are you doing, man? Welcome to the live stream. Here you are. We've been waiting for you. You just wanted to hold 30 frames on base Xbox One. This might come in EA Pass in a few months. I don't think so. I mean, EA doesn't have the rights anymore, I think. Whoa. No, Crysis 2, no. Crysis 3! I love when the console does weird stuff. Okay, Crysis 3. Thank you, Frank. Greetings from Germany. Well, greetings from Uruguay, mister. Okay, and in the poll, the 570 and the 1050 Ti are very close. They're fighting for their lives. Yeah, I'm probably doing the 570 first, just for a driver change reason. Would make more sense. Will take a gazillion years to load. Yeah, it'll take forever. This is a spinning hard drive, 5400 RPM. Hey, Angel Andre. Welcome back, mister. Yeah, it'll take forever to load, but hey, if it runs at 30 stable, I'm a happy man. I'm having a good day. Thanks, man. I hope you're having one as well. I'm having fun testing Crysis. Crysis 2 was way more interesting as a remaster over this one.
Achieved with CryEngine.
Anyway. Okay, loaded into the menu. Perfect. But the biggest upgrade on Crysis 3 Remastered is for the console people. If you played the original Crysis 3, oh man, you're in for a bad time. On the consoles, I mean. Did you have HDR on the Series S? No. No HDR. I don't have an HDR capable display that has a good... that does HDR right. Let's load, yes. Oh, you have the motion blur amount on the consoles as well. On this one we will need motion blur for sure. We will. I love that there's no FOV slider on the Xbox One version. Of course there's no FOV slider. If we increase the FOV on the Xbox One, no FPS, 0 frames per second. Todo bien, Emilio. ¿Y vos? Testing 570, I already did it. What are some of your thoughts about the game in general though? I mean, Crysis 3, my favorite, I know this is controversial, but my favorite is Crysis 2. As a linear shooter, Crysis 2 for me is the best. Then I like Crysis 1 because of the open nature. It's more like a Far Cry game from the first ones, but with better graphics and more destruction. But as linear shooters, I like Crysis 2. Then Crysis 3 is like a more open-ended Crysis 2, at least for me. So, again, as a linear shooter, Crysis 2. Crysis 3 is more like, again, open levels that you can approach the way you want, but they're way too open for me. Personally, I'd rather play on smaller levels. And Crysis 2 is more like that. That's why the controversial opinion. But yeah, Crysis 3 is a linear shooter. Okay, 30 frames. Ugh. Yeah, I can notice that. So as I was saying, Crysis 3 looks good. And as a video game, a linear shooter is more open maps. But it's not an open world game. I can definitely notice the lower resolution. And the TAA I think is missing on this one. And the grass looks more like Crysis 3 on the PC, on the OG Crysis 3. Okay, yeah. This looks super low resolution. Ugh, my eyes. 3 minutes of loading time. That's hilarious. Okay, it does feel like 30 frames. Which is good. Although, yeah, it seems that the reflections are worse. Yeah, makes sense. Hang on, I'm going to do it smartly on this one. Let's be smart about this. Let's go. Scope. Silencer. Yeah, I didn't have the graphical bug of the Nvidia cards. Yeah.
Enemy ICOM chatter indicates
Although I can notice that it's worse and worse and worse. Let's do draw weight like that. And let's kill the enemies. Yeah, this looks way worse. They make sense. It's the most basic of the basic consoles. Although they made it run on the Switch. I don't know how, but it also runs on the Switch.
Security lockdown in effect.
So yeah, on the 1S, it's fine. Yeah, stealth on Crysis is pretty poor, but on Crysis 3, at least the stealth works better than on Crysis 2. On Crysis 2, that's a game to shoot. Crysis 2 stealth is they discover you and well, everybody knows your location. At least on Crysis 3, they try to find you somewhere else. It's not that they know, everybody knows your position. That's a Crysis 2 thing. Yeah, it's on Switch as well. Although on Switch, it's probably super custom. But again, I don't know how they made it run on the Switch. That's a complete achievement.
Heads up, Prophet. Cell reinforcements en route.
Oh, let's see the water. Yeah, the water ripples are still similar to Series S. But the resolution is much lower and runs at 30 frames per second, so... I'd say the biggest difference outside of resolution on Xbox One S versus Series S, apart from the resolution, the frame rate, double the frame rate on Series S, so that's good.
Insurgent activity.
A huge improvement, 60 frames versus 30 frames. And it appears to be pretty stable 30. But then on the settings, I'm not entirely sure what's different. The draw distance is still pretty poor. Let's see the shadow draw distance. Oh, never mind. The shadow draw distance is worse on the 1S.
Threat level is
Yeah, I can see that.
elevated.
But overall, yeah, the biggest difference is resolution and frame rate. And the shadow draw distance is way better on Series S. Yeah. In the Series S, this shadow popped right in when I was like, yeah, back there. So yeah, more pop in, lower resolution, locked 30 frames, but in comparison to the original Crysis 3 on the 360 that you could play through backwards compatibility, not even a comparison. So yeah, we're doing that. Let me show you the very first level, just as a quick comparison against the original. I think you'll find it very funny how the original looks against the remaster on the consoles. On the consoles, the remaster is a must if you want to play it. So yeah, let's see. Not the best, but looks playable. Yeah, completely playable, without a doubt. It's solid 30. Maybe it drops sometimes below 30, but couldn't notice with the controller and the motion blur, so... They did a great job with this one. And as you can see, it takes forever to load, that's why I cannot skip the cutscene. Come on. There we go. It loaded. Okay, here we are. Yeah, I mean, guys... That level, I was looking at the grass level because it runs terrible on PC in general, but this part with the rain looks great. They did a good job. Yeah, there's even screen space reflections on the 1S. I can see Psycho being reflected. So even on the Xbox One there's screen space reflections. So yeah, good job. So yeah, let me show you something super quick. To do a side-by-side will be pretty funny. There's only 3 Crysis, right? There is 4 actually. There is Crysis Warhead, which is missing from the remasters. They're not remastering that one, I think. But I don't know, we'll see.
The guys who had you in lockdown for God knows how many years. The guys who tore the nanosuit from my flesh. The guys who are going to do the same to you. Sell.
Shut up, Psycho. Jesus Christ.
Oh, forget it.
I'm looking for something to screenshot, but since there's rain on the screen, it's not going to be a good comparison.
Disembarkation in progress. All non-essential personnel must keep
Oh, I know.
the area.
Let's compare the texture of the gun on the draw distance. There you go, like this. Yeah, I'm doing a side by side, but with a screenshot, unfortunately, because it's easier. And now I'm going to open the OG Crysis 3 from the 360. This one is on EA Play. Let's see. So nostalgic. Yeah, Crysis Warhead is the unloved child of Crytek. True, true. Bless their hearts. Let's see. $150 is decent for 1050 Ti considering the current market. I agree. I agree. Let's see. Here we come. Potato Edition. Crysis 3. It runs so bad on the 360. But I was impressed back then that it could run on the 360. But let's see if we can notice a difference right away. No save games detected. Continue without saving. No, I don't want to play a tutorial. Hey, Russian friend, how's it going? At least it's free on Game Pass. Yeah, well, if it's on Game Pass, then it's not free. It's on Game Pass. Okay, gotta wait for the cutscene to finish. So yeah, it takes forever, I know. So I'll read the chat in the meantime. Well, so far you guys won the 571st. Okay, gotcha. I'll keep it up for the next time.
Cell took us all by surprise. Even me.
So yeah, I cannot skip this. Whoa, wrong button.
They call me Prophet.
Alright.
And I'm the only one who knows what's coming.
Let me see if Crysis 3 will go backwards compatibility.
The most powerful alien, the
What's the resolution?
still lives.
Oh, okay, somebody did a comparison. Let me check that out.
He showed me a glimpse of the future.
Interesting. Okay, in the first level is 25 frames per second on Xbox 360. So it's going to be pretty bad, and it has a lock to 32 frames. So this will be interesting.
Knows what drives me.
True gamers never know the story of the game. True. Although this part with the nanosuit in space is badass. I love this scene.
What are you?
With stuff, debris flying around in space and the nanosuit flying around. That's beautiful.
When they came to me with
the best Crysis scene is that when the nanosuit is on space and you see all the earth and debris and the nanosuit. Best part, without a doubt, in the entire franchise. Just seeing the nanosuit on space, like that floating, is beautiful. Yeah. The best one they did so far.
A little more.
This part that they're showing. Definitely my favorite part. This, look at this. Once they show everything at once. It reminds me of the movie Gravity. The nanosuit there in the air and the aliens about to attack the Earth. Yeah, visually stunning, this part. But it's a cutscene, so doesn't count, right?
When the greatest combat machine fails, what do we do?
AMD should put RDNA 2 in APUs. That would make the 1050 redundant. Well, we gotta wait and see. You never know. Come on, finish that cutscene for crying out loud. Jesus. 750 Ti and 1030 not in the poll. They are not in the poll because those come later. Okay, here we come. This is not skippable. No, unfortunately the first of the first cutscenes is not skippable, but the other ones are, so don't worry. Here we need to wait for the game to finish loading. There we go, now we can enter the game. Steam Deck has RDNA 2 GPU, we'll find out. Okay. Oh yeah,
Take my backup.
I can notice the downgrade right away.
3 to come out. Keep low.
Yeah, there's no screens. Oh yeah, there is. Hang on. No, there's no screen space reflections, no shader for the wet surfaces.
Let's go.
And yeah, and that texture popping.
Initiating burnout. Over.
Look at that.
Copy that, Romeo 1.
Yeah, no, the remaster is a huge upgrade, and man, that frame rate is not consistent at all. Jesus Christ, it's terrible. Remaster looks worse than vanilla because of DLSS? Nah. Remaster looks miles better. Yeah, here is below 30, without a doubt.
You in there, inside the dome.
I mean, look at this.
The Alpha Ceph?
It's disgusting.
Remember those guys who shot you full of K-bolts in Siberia?
Let's see the remaster side by side.
The guys who tore the nanosuit from my flesh. The guys who are gonna do the same to
There
you.
we go.
Sell those guys. Oh, forget it.
Oh, hang on. Let's line it up properly. There we go. So at the right we got the remaster, and at the left we got the backwards compatible one. The difference is pretty huge. Apart from the FOV, the materials are way better, the frame rate is way better, lock 30s, here is below 30. There is screen space reflections, there's better draw distance, there's a higher resolution, there's a lot of new stuff on the remaster. So as you can see, the biggest difference, even on the models for the guns, on the hands. But I mean, it's a 360 game. So it better be running better on Xbox One with better visuals. Yeah, of course, as a 360 game it's pretty impressive, don't get me wrong, but the difference will be even bigger on the jungle parts. But the jungle parts, I need to play the game for 30 more minutes, and I had enough for today. So yeah, anyway guys, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll give you my thoughts now about the remaster. First on the PC and then on the console. On the PC, I think that the remaster for Crysis 3 is best for high-end PCs. And by high-end PCs I mean the RTX cards or the high-end AMD cards to do the ray tracing. On some surfaces you get full ray tracing. But that's about it. Then the biggest difference for the remaster on PC, on budget GPUs such as ours, would be there's now good TAA, so there's no shimmering anymore. TAA fixes that problem. Then the CPU usage is lower, so you get less stutter, especially in the part with a lot of grass. Now the grass is at 60 frames and the water ripples as well. So that's another upgrade I think is worth mentioning from the remaster of 3. But performance is worse because we have more reflections going on. So yeah, the original runs better, but it has more stutter. So personally on PC, if you already played the original, I'll skip it. I mean, the remaster is nice and all, has some good quality of life changes. But the biggest difference on remaster is on the consoles, first of all, because the 360 version is terrible. And yeah, on the PC, the biggest difference will be on Crysis 2. Crysis 2 looks way better, has a lot of differences. Crysis 3 already looked amazing on PC, so pretty minor differences in comparison. But on the consoles, yeah, you get a huge upgrade. On Xbox One versus the 360 version, yeah. Whoa. I jumped into the water. Not sure if that was possible, but it is apparently. Oh yeah, you can jump out. Never mind. So yeah. On the consoles it's a no-brainer. On the PC, well, if you already played the original, maybe skip it. The remaster, I mean. So yeah, thank you so much, guys. Yeah, it's been almost 3 hours. It flew by. So thanks for watching, and I'll see ya next time. Bye, guys. I think on Monday or Tuesday I'm doing another live stream. We'll see. I'll be doing more videos on Crysis, especially testing the performance on consoles, the 750 Ti, the 1650 on Super. That will be interesting. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time. Thank you. Love you all. Bye bye. Thank you. See ya later. Thank you. Bye.